Am I talking this way? This side. That's where everybody is. I'm going to be looking at them. So many beautiful gopi faces. How can I look anywhere else? Hare Krishna. That's okay. When Prabhupada was giving a Bhagavatam class in Los Angeles once, some construction was going on, and some other devotees, they said, stop, Prabhupada's speaking. Those sounds, are disturbing. He's giving Bhagavatam. And because those sounds were being made in service, Prabhupada said, those are the sounds of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's the sounds of Seva. So it's acceptable, especially on this particular day. And it's by divine providence, we can say, that Srila Bhakti Avadhut Maharaj, not only is this his appearance day, and therefore his Vyas Puja day, but it's also the Vyas Puja of Veda Vyas himself, his appearance day. And Sanatana Goswami Prabhu's disappearance day, who's the Sambandha Gyanacharya, and whose deities are known generally as Madan Mohan, but repeatedly addressed as Madan Gopal throughout the pages of Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam. And we'll speak something about that later when the installation time comes. But like one of Guru Maharaj, why Saraswati Thakur named him Rakak, Bhakti Rakak or Rakshaka Sridhar. Many things can be drawn out from there. But the Rakak, when I was promoting Guru Maharaj in the Western world, I thought how to render this in English, so I suggested guardian of devotion. And Guru Maharaj was happy to hear that. And late in the final meeting, he told me, oh, with such dignity, you have represented me, but the most dignified. But he liked that, and Gurudev liked that. Guardian of devotion, on the Rakak side of things. But why the name Sridhar? Because as Mahaprabhu says to Balabhabata in Chaitanya Charitamritam, Balabhabata he's a scholar, he knows Sanskrit to the highest degree, he has interpretations of the names of Krishna, he believes that his bhasya, or what he has to say in commenting on the Bhagavatam, has surpassed Sridhar Swami. Right? As Guru Maharaj is not known as Sridhar Swami, he's known as, Srila Sridhar Maharaja. But then Mahaprabhu says, because that is some diss towards Sridhar Swami from Balabhabata, and Mahaprabhu says these famous lines that I would also use in praise of Guru Maharaj. Sridhar Swami Prasade Bhagavata Jani Jagad Guru Sridhar Swami Guru Kori Mani. He's saying it's by the mercy of Sridhar Swami that we can know the Bhagavatam. It's interesting, he doesn't say by his vast intellect and intellectual analysis, therefore, no, he says by the mercy, Sridhar Swami Prasade Bhagavat Jani, we can know the Bhagavatam. And then he says, Jagad Guru Sridhar Swami Guru Kori Mani. So it's taken to mean that Sridhar, who has the name Sridhar, his comment is final, supreme, foremost, etc. So And what I mean to say is, this is at the beginning of the Bhagavatam, of Veda Vyas, which is his, as they say, magnum opus, the supreme work, after he's compiled, Ved, Purana, Upanishads, all these things. This is, and his own intro to the Bhagavatam, Nigama Kalpatrur Galitam Palam, Shukamukadam Ritradrava Samyatam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. The Vedas are compared to a Kalpavriksha, the mystical desire tree, and the Vedanta, like Vedanta Sutra, is the flower produced of that tree, just as we are familiar with what we call floral essences, right? It's in a very concentrated form. That tree produced the flower, then it's put into a floral essence, and the Bhagavatam, we're told, is the fully ripened, mature fruit of the tree of Veda. Just like the mango is the crowning production of the mango tree. The mango is a tree, it has leaves, it produces flowers, buds, but it's the mango fruit itself in its fully ripened state that is the whole purpose of the mango tree is realized in that. They're saying the purpose of the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishad, if you look at them on your own or individually, you might misread. Understand their purpose is to produce this. Right? Okay. The volume from that side to this side, mute it or just turn it off. Now that's our mute. Yeah. See, then just unplug it or turn the volume down. Turn it off.
Powering off.
So, the Bhagavatam is that. And in the very beginning, and which we can say culminates in the appearance, after 10 cantos, culminates in the appearance of Krishna, and then his childhood pastimes with Nanda Yashoda, the cowherd boys, and then culminating in the Madhura Rasa pastimes with the Braja Gopis. But in the very beginning, so it's saying this Bhagavatam that has this, not only the seed of this concept, but it in its fully fructified stage, fruit-bearing stage. What does it say from the beginning? Tene Brahma Hrida Adikavaye. That it was inspired into the heart of Brahma. Right? The first created being, Brahma. So Gurudev liked to always say, it is a heart-to-heart transaction. It is not data transfer, the transfer of information. It's not gyan, but rather, heart-to-heart transaction. What was revealed into the heart of Brahma, that's again going into the hearts of his disciples and followers, of whom Narad Rishi is one. And that Narada, he comes to Vedavyas as often, Guru appears to the disciple at their greatest time of need, or confusion, or inner turmoil, anxiety. So Vyas, and this is what is peculiar, he's already given the Vedas, the Upanishads, Mahabharata, which includes Bhagavad Gita, everything. And we're told he's feeling despondent. And then Narada arrives on the scene and says, Prabhu, why are you feeling like this? He's saying, even though I've done all of this, I feel that I haven't done my actual duty. And Narada tells him, yes, because you've told about Krishna and different pastimes, but you haven't clearly indicated that our ultimate prospect and possibility lies in service and devotion to Krishna and a loving relationship with Krishna. Now you must do that. All right. So, Vyas, hearing this in 10 slokas, we take it to be the Bhagavatam from Narada, he's then expanding that into what becomes, after transferred to Sukadev and who is it, Shonaka Rishi, etc. It ends up being 18,000 verses. So Vyas is actually the person, the particular Vyas is known as Veda Vyas, Krishna Dvaipayana. But Guru Maharaj tells us Vyasa is also a position, it's a title for those who take up this, or divinely empowered to expand and extend the message of the Bhagavatam. So all gurus are, why are we calling today Vyas Puja? For Vyas, today happens to be Vyasa's appearance day, but it is also Avadhut Maharaj's appearance day as the representative of Vyasadeva. And what has Vyas done? He's extracted the inner meaning of Veda, the purpose of Veda, right? Which we understand in Guru Maharaj's sloka, Yadamiyam Mahima Srimad Bhagavatam Kathayam Pratipatam Anubhutam Apyalabideya Tadakila Rasamurti Shamalila Avalambam Madhura Rasadi Sri Radha Padapadmam Prapadye. Saying, although many things are discussed in the Bhagavatam, there are many pastimes, but really, at every step of the way, they're all meant to take us in the direction of one thing. And what is that? The holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and service to her. Radha Dasyam. That is the real purport of the Bhagavatam. That this nectarine substance, we will come in connection with that in service to her. So there's one interesting verse early on that meant when Vyas is telling Narada why he's feeling despondent. He's saying, because you didn't fully indicate the glories of Achyuta Priya. So ostensibly say, oh, Krishna. But Krishna is Achyuta. Another thing, interpretation, or what we can understand is Achyuta Priya. It's an indirect way of saying, you haven't glorified Krishna conception in terms of how he's viewed by Srimati Radharani. She's Achyuta Priya. Right? So, really, the Guru, and sometimes Guru Maharaj would say, is who's addressing the unfoldment of our inner necessity, which is realized in Seva, in service. So when, in the year 2000, I asked Srila Gurudev what service he wanted from me. Previously, I'd made books regarding the Devotion Press, Search for Sri Krishna, Sri Guru and His Grace, Golden Volcano, etc. And I thought, what service do you want from me now? And he said, I have so many disciples now. I don't need more books. I have 273 publications or something like that. He said, but my movement is expanding like anything in Russia and the Russian-speaking countries. And he said, so I want you to meet Jagannath Ballabha Prabhu, which is Srila Avadhut Maharaj's former name. So I had not met him before, but I know that if Gurudev says he's pairing us, he wants us to work together, then I know that this is something like ordained, in heaven, it's divine, and it's not happenstance or peripheral, but something very substantial. And I actually, as fate would have it, in Mayapur, coming and going from Mayapur, that's where I met him. And we shared a rickshaw and began speaking to one another. And he told me about his plans for the coming summer and, Russia, the Ukraine, Siberia, etc. As today the deities are being installed in Tomsk. And having not met him before, I thought, well, these are very grand plans. And I wondered about what is his capacity to realize all these things, because many things are being said. And a restaurant is going to open, and this is going to happen, and that, and deity installation, many things are going to happen. But the thought crossed my mind, wow, this is, a very ambitious program. So I guess we'll see what happens. And as fate would have it, when I arrived at Sheremetyevo, and I didn't have like a visa for Russia. And that's my destination. And so I'm now sort of in no man's land, stuck there. But Avadhut Maharaj, he's like negotiating something behind the scenes. And then after a while, I'm told, come here, come here, come here, come here, do this, do that. And then I'm given like 24 hours in Moscow until I can, get a flight to Kiev. So then I'm whisked away by the devotees. I find myself at the top of a building, Avdozhavodskaya, right? And there was a little temple up there on the rooftop. Then you can see all over Moscow, and I'm thinking, so many years before we came here, 1978, and when it was the former Soviet Union, and now here it is in 2000, and we're openly discussing Srila Sridhar Maharaj and all of his concepts, and I'm overwhelmed by realizing the transformation that's taken place. But in the audience, when I asked for questions, whereas we gave a very general representation of Krishna consciousness in 1978 when we came, now when I say, are there any questions? People will say things like, in Sri Guru and His Grace, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says, and then they ask me a question about that. So I'm astonished. Like, how did this happen? How did Guru Maharaj's concept go all over Russia? Which to me is like a miracle. And then I find out that actually it's this, Jagannath Ballabha Prabhu, who later becomes Avadhut Maharaj. When he becomes initiated by Srila Gurudev, he's actually in New York. He's based in New York. And he has no plans really of returning. He's going to preach in New York. I mean, it's New York City, why not? And he's having some success there with programs, organizing devotees, festivals, as he always does. But when he meets with Srila Gurudev, remember, the operating principle of spiritual life is to try to fulfill the order of Sri Guru. That's it. Vyavasayatmika buddhi eke ha kurunandana. Srila Prabhupada said he had an epiphany reading this part of the Bhagavad Gita and Chakravarti Thakur's interpretation, where he realized, like, the sole purpose of my life is to fill the order of Sri Guru. Just like once Prabhupada said, when Arjuna, in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he said, and he's speaking metaphorically, paraphrasing, he said, Arjuna vibrates the supreme mantra. You think, oh, what is that? Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? He said, no, he says, Karishe Vachanam Tava. I'm prepared to do what you say. Like when Guru Maharaj told Gurudev, are you ready? You're going to be my disciple? Are you ready to follow me and not your own mind? And we go, uh-oh, getting real. Are you prepared to follow me and not your own mind? And Gurudev said, I was very young, so I said, yes. He said, I didn't know how difficult that could be in time. But, with my heart and soul, I said, yes, meaning I'll try my best. So when Avadhut Maharaj becomes initiated by Srila Gurudev and asks him, what service do you want me to do? What is your desire? Because we have so many desires. Krishna consciousness doesn't mean, oh, now I've got my beads and my Krishna conscious paraphernalia. You know, what would please me as a service? Like Tirtha Maharaj of Gaudiya Math, his son, his idea of the spiritual world was in a swimming pool of rasgolas. He would swim there, and then a rasgola would come in his mouth and swim a little more, and then another one. I mean, as a child, he was saying, because they're always saying, you'll be swimming in the nectar, and he was like, that was his idea. Guru Maharaj would sometimes say to us, don't think that Krishna is like a sweet ball. I mean, he may actually be in one sense, but he meant like that you can just toss one in your mouth and squeeze all the juice out of that and be happy. So, although there is this one sweet at Gangaram's in Calcutta called Rasaraj that comes close to that. But he's saying, don't think of, like he's an object of your experience. No, we are the object, he is the subject, and his delegation is Guru. Guru Maharaj would say, our next nearest is Guru. Acharja mam vijaniyat, navamanyeta karchit. Think of me, think of Guru as me, my very self. Right? So, Srila Avadhut Maharaj asked Gurudev, what should be my service? And to his surprise, Gurudev said, you take Guru Maharaj's conception to Russia. That is your seva. And that's all he said. That's all you need. When Saraswati Thakur told Swami Maharaj, take Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking countries, and say, would you give me a list of how to do that? No, that's why you use your brain, your intelligence, your resources, your energy. And he says, like, you know, stand and fight. Arjuna, he's already a Kshatriya, he has so many skills, and he's telling him, this is the direction you should go. Gurudev telling Avadhut Maharaj, you take Srila Guru Maharaj's conception to Russia and promote it there. He can understand he's dealing with someone who has exceptional intelligence, skill, can assemble resources. That's his job. He gave the order. Because later, when we're there with the Lakta installation and the beautiful temple there, and Gurudev's giving all the credit to Avadhut Maharaj and Vijay Raman Prabhu. And they're saying, no, actually, you gave the order. All the power was in your order. And whatever we did was just empowered by your order. And if anything, we dedicated ourselves to fulfilling your order, and then these miraculous things happen. So Gurudev's giving all the credit to Avadhut Maharaj and Vijay Raman Prabhu and their team, and they're saying, no, 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 all the credit goes to Srila Gurudev. But that is Vaishnava culture. So then Avadhut Maharaj, he sent word to Vijay Raman Prabhu, this book, Sri Guru and His Grace, translate it, begin distributing it. And you know, the rest, as they say, is history. So by the time I come there, I'm, you know, to me a miracle has happened. Is that these books we made at the Guardian Devotion Press, full of the conception of Guru Maharaj, we'd known their extent up to a certain point. Now they're all over the Russian-speaking world. And people are being charmed by these concepts, devoting themselves. And so I'm very happy. Then I meet Avadhut Maharaj there later, and Gurudev is coming, and Avadhut Maharaj takes me to what would later become Jagannath Express. You know, what is it, Kuznetsky most? But at the time, the place he takes me to, it looks like a dungeon or that some building that was like bombed, you know, and then he shows me some machine that costs like $10,000 or $20,000. And at the time I said, do you have anyone who knows how to use this machine? And he said, oh yeah, my uncle, who was like, you know, a high-level chef. I always call him Yuri Maestro. because really he is a maestro chef. But so I see this and I think, you're going, oh, we're going to open the restaurant here in like a month. And I'm going on a tour for a month. I'm going like, oh my God. Anyway, I go, oh yeah, I hope so. By the time Gurudev comes. Then I go on this tour for a month to the Ukraine and many other places and come back. And then it's the time Gurudev comes. And there's the media, the press, everybody, and the rest, Jagannath Express opens. And it's a full-blown restaurant. So that was the beginning of observing Srila Avadhut Maharaj's magic, or as Gurudev said, some mysterious power works on his behalf. But this happened numerous times. And he said, when he took me to Kiselny and showed me, and this place literally, it just, objectively speaking, was not a pretty sight. And then, but what he did was demolish it, remove the entire building, and then dig down one story and then go up a little higher, so what was 2 became 4. And then later that was opened, Gurudev came, the Indian ambassador, so many people. And I don't think I've ever seen the full building, because it just keeps going around and around, and there's so many hidden rooms and places. So in like 17 years, I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing. But then the deities were also installed there. And the deities in Lakta came, Satyasundar Prabhu brought them from India, from Jaipur, without any marring. So then, so many times Avadhut Maharaj would say, we're going to have some big program, and rent a big hall with like 500 seats, and like 75 people would come. And 50 of them were our own people, And then there was like 10 people from ISKCON, and then 5 people who were just crazy. At least 5 people who were crazy. And we would do that, and it happened like, more than a few times. But Avadhut Maharaj saying, no, I have a plan, I have a system, I have a program, he kept modifying, so that one time we're in Zaporozhye, and we're having a program there. And on the way to the program, I'm stuck in a traffic jam. And my experience, the only traffic jam like that I'd experienced before was like going to a rock concert in the West. And you're just inching along, and there's so many people, and I thought, where are these people going? Maybe there's like some famous band from England is playing or something. And then when I get to the hall, I realize the hall that Avadhut Maharaj has arranged the program in, all those people are going to our program. And when I look inside and I see there's 2,000 seats and all the people are dressed very nicely. There's not even a seat for me while I'm waiting to go on stage. They have to ask somebody to leave. I was going, oh my goodness. And Avadhut Maharaj looked at me and goes, I have a system, and here it is working. And I went, I will never doubt you. Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna. Can he hear me? Or maybe not. Anyway. So many times he has some visionary idea. He's a creative visionary to how to expand and extend Krishna consciousness. And sometimes it's beyond what we may be able to see or understand how all of this is going to happen. But repeatedly, this has happened over and over and over again. And although people may not understand his vision of things all the time, no one can doubt the sincerity of his vision and his purpose, which is to promote Krishna consciousness. As we sit here today, here, in Chiang Mai and Gupta Govardhan, you know, in this extraordinarily beautiful place. And really, and Paramananda can verify, we discussed this at least 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, about being in Thailand and even in the northern part of the country, which Paramananda and Yadu Krishna were really more pushing than other parts of the country. Islands or things like that, that it would be here. 10, 15 years ago. Because now I realize Gurudev 8, it means 15 years ago we had these a discussion. But this was one thing we all agreed on, which is rare. That's rare. Like everybody was in agreement. And you see now also the temple that's coming up here, and Giriraj will transfer there, and one day Mahaprabhu, Radha Govinda, they will appear. I guarantee you. Hare Krishna. And it's all organized by Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadhut Maharaj. So one thing we've learned in associating with him, that as long as you remain in connection with him, you will get innumerable serving opportunities. He'll find you. If you're trying to avoid that, he'll seek you out and find you and engage you in service to the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga. So it's actually our good fortune to be connected with him, and in my case, connected with him by the direct order and sanction of Srila Gurudev, who in his own estimation said, Avadhut Maharaj reminds him of Guru Maharaj. And you say, how is that? Because of this divine serving plane. Guru Maharaj hammered into our heads over and over again about Jnana Shunya Bhakti and Radha Dasyam and service to the lotus feet of Guru and Vaishnav. And Avadhut Maharaj, he's the prime mover of Vaishnava Seva, Guru Seva, and the expansion of the Krishna consciousness movement in a visionary way into the modern world. So we can understand also as the backing of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, who when the deities were installed in Lakta, and Gurudev had this article from an English newspaper in Kolkata, and he cut it out and he kept it right where he would sit, is right on the little bookcase to his side, so he could like see it all the time. And the article's title, it said, Chaitanya Temple on Lenin's Doorstep. He really liked that. And whoever thought of that title, that was perfect. Chaitanya Temple on Lenin's Doorstep. And so many times in Petersburg, I would go by that boat, you know, the ship, the Aurora, where the revolution began in 1917. That's 100 years ago, actually. So, and I would think, and it's here and that's the same time, around the time when Saraswati Thakur began the theistic revolutionary activities of Sri Gaudiya Math and everything. And here also our temple, Mahaprabhu, Radha Madhava Sundarju appeared there. And that would not be lost upon me as this being like the place where this revolutionary theistic conception would spring out of the soil. So I see him playing kartals. Okay. All right. So it is our good fortune to have his association, from my point of view, and for all those who are his disciples, followers, and friends. Srila Gurudev selected him as the Acharya of the Russian-speaking countries, of the Russian mission, and by extension, Russian-speaking countries, and told everyone, whenever his disciples had a question about service, he would say, if you follow the direction and the orders of Avadhut Maharaj, then it will be service. That was his answer to this question. Because they can think so many things, but this, if they want to know, Gurudev's own disciples, in the Russian-speaking countries. He said, if you follow the direction of Avadhut Maharaj, then it will be service. So what higher certificate can there be than that? So we're still following that principle. Soon we'll be speaking with him personally, but while we're waiting, oh, now he's finished. Maybe we'll speak with him now. And today, it's his appearance day, but what's going on? After 17 years, 18 years of preaching in Tomsk, and Giriraj Govardhan being there, now, long at last, Radha, well actually it's Guru Gauranga, Gandharvika Madan Gopalji are appearing. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Bhakti Avadhut Maharaj Avirbhav Mahamahutvatiti Ki Jai. While we're waiting, why don't you, Paramananda Prabhu, say a few words? I'm waiting for him to start talking to us.
I think he's waiting for us.
Oh, okay.
I can see he's looking right at you. Yeah, I think they're ready.
I thought I just turned it on. This volume is, oh, it's through there.
Maharaj, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you very well. So, basically we just got together, we had a little kirtan, and we heard some of you talk partially, not all, but your
maximum volume.
transfer something into something spiritual is incredible. So I think by your sweet and divine talk, we got an amazing credit opportunity. We live in our spiritual credit card. We have no capital, but Vaishnavas are increasing us capital, and we should say in Russian something for good. Because everybody speaks Russian is so good.
Is that mic supposed to be broadcasting? It was so loud before and now it's not.
У нас очень искренняя трансляция, каждый свой реальность.
Oh.
С вами хорошо говорил.
Maharaj, I think you need to come closer to your mic.
I'll try my best.
Where
Now?
is his microphone? It's on the floor.
About like
Phone.
this.
You mean that man who's
Can you
holding
hear
the
me
phone?
now, Maharaj?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, good. Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami, Maharaj Ki Jai.
Okay.
So what I've said to Russian devotees that we've got an amazing credit. You know, it's just like a World Bank, and all countries trying to get credit from World Bank, because by having that credit, you know, everything will be harmonious, because in modern world it's very difficult somebody to operate on his own capital.
Yes.
But by hearing your glorification, it's almost like you're getting credit from World Bank. The question is percentage that we have to pay with. Yeah. Может, кто-то будет переводить реально. Никто не может переводить. Иначе я буду говорить по-английски и по-русски одновременно. Hare Krishna.
Мы все живем в долг.
So then they did hear something of what I said.
Дандават Махарадж.
I think they heard something, but I don't really know how much everybody speaks English, because here's Bishop
right,
Priya,
of
she
course,
speaks perfect
yeah.
English, but there was no Tan Manteli's translation, but it's been recorded. That's not.
Okay.
That's great, but right now Vishnupriya is here, so she can translate something to Russian. From what I've said to you and what you will say, I mean, we're going to have a very short program, obviously, because the installation of the deities. But I know you want to say something, so Vishnupriya is here. She's hearing you in a short way.
Yeah.
You can address Russian devotees with.
All right. Hare Krishna.
Okay, here's Vishnupriya.
All right. Dandavad. Jai Vishnupriya Devi. Hare Krishna.
I told her, don't get away from camera. Okay, Maharaj.
All right, so what I will say is that, as I told, it was by the order. I mean, I'm going to speak one sentence and you're going to speak a sentence. Is that how we're going to do this? Okay. So, Jai Ami Sindhu Prabhu. So, it was by the order of Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj that Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadhut Maharaj and I formed a service, Seva partnership.
По наставлению с вами Говинда Махараджа и Авадхута Махараджа я сейчас выполняю эту сервис.
So that is not a coincidence or an accident.
И это не случайно.
It's by divine providence.
Это все благодаря божественному провидению.
So part of that, I mentioned many things before, but what I'd like to say right now means that in the year 2000, that Srila Avadhut Maharaj and I traveled to Tomsk.
И я хочу вспомнить 2000 год, когда мы с Авадхутом Махараджем были в Томске.
And you can see some pictures of that. We look, it's like 17 years ago, we look much younger.
В те времена мы выглядели гораздо моложе.
And at that time, when we were just meeting the Siberian Bhaktavrinda, I would like speak for like 4 hours or 6 hours, and then I would go take some rest. But then Avadhut Maharaj would speak for like 8 hours.
И в те времена помню, что я говорил без перерыва 4 или 6 часов, потом ушел отдохнуть, и в это время Авадхут Махарадж продолжил и общался с преданными примерно 8 часов без перерыва.
And then, of course, he would be with a group of devotees drinking tea after midnight. He like talked from 12 to 6.
И затем он продолжил общаться в неформальном общении с чаем, и преданные общались всю ночь до 6 утра.
Then I would start speaking again in the morning.
И затем я увидел, что он продолжает общаться утром.
And so we got this hardcore group of, Siberian Bhaktavrinda.
И я знаю, что у нас есть
Давай я буду говорить. В результате этого, в результате нашего духовного общения у нас появилась целая группа в Сибири, Авадхута.
And Maharaj, I noticed, he is always full of praise for the Siberian devotees.
И я знаю, что Авадхут Махарадж всегда дает благословение и помнит о сибирских преданных.
Basically telling me, like, the people who were too smart in other parts of Russia, they sent them all to Siberia.
И он говорит,
Он говорит, что Авадхут Махарадж прославляет сибирских преданных, но он говорит, что в России у нас также слишком умные, тебя обязательно сошли в Сибирь.
That's why there's so many universities there and so many smart people there, like you. Because she's a teacher.
В Сибири так много университетов и умных людей.
So then we could understand, it's like the intelligentsia.
И мы можем понять, что в Сибири живет интеллигенция.
Which is what Srila Saraswati Thakur wanted the Krishna consciousness movement's preaching to focus upon.
И Сарасвати Такур мечтал о том, чтобы и знал, что целевой аудиторией концепции Кришны будут интеллигентными,
So,
образованными.
what I learned very quickly is wherever Srila Avadhut Maharaj goes, he always sees that place in terms of preaching prospect and service opportunity.
И Авадхут Махарадж всегда видел в Сибири возможности для проповеди, прославления и служения.
I think I just need to speak, and whatever you hear me saying, you translate that. Because it's a little technical problem. The slowness, I need more than one mouth.
We can hear
right
you
now.
perfectly.
Yeah, we hear you very well.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I can hear you very little. But anyway, so that's his divine devotional vision, is to see everything and everyone in terms of preaching opportunity and service prospect. We come to Guru to serve. Not to impose our petty desires upon the higher, but we want the divine order to come down to us.
Мы пришли не для того, чтобы высказывать свои желания высшему, а для того, чтобы высшее снизошло.
So actually, even 17 years ago, Avadhut Maharaj spoke of having a temple in Tomsk.
Я помню, что 17 лет назад, уже 17 лет назад, Авадхут Махарадж говорил о том, что в Томске будет храм.
And there was Subhada and Haridasi and others were there from the beginning. But I understood he selected Subhada as like his agent.
И в те времена в Сибири были и Харидаси, и Сувада. Но сейчас я понимаю, что Авадхут Махарадж выбрал Суваду своим агентом.
And maybe that was Krishna.
And her
Would be my chance. I would pick Jagat Mata.
Я мог бы выбрать и Джаганмату тоже.
Yes, Jagannatha was there from the beginning. Also, Naradev Prabhu was there. When I look at his son Kling, I'm reminded of his face. And Rasapriya. There are so many others. Yeah, it's a competition of dedication.
Это было соревнование преданности. Авадхут Махарадж упоминает Джаганмату, что мог бы выбрать Джаганмату.
And Avadhut Maharaj is winning the competition. But Subhada, because Avadhut Maharaj believed in her, she believed in him as Gurudev's representative, we saw that consistently over the years in Tomsk, things they always increased, they never decreased.
И я могу сказать вам, что Сувада всегда верила в Авадхута Махараджа как в посланника своего гуру.
See how much?
Yes, and look, Jai, Hare Krishna. Oh, there's Jagannatha. She's the original mother of everyone. Jai, Pavan Krishna.
Pavan Prabhu and Piram from Siberia.
Yes.
All the Bersky Bhakta Vrinda. Parnit Bersky.
Hare Krishna.
Look at Suvada's daughter, Ekadashi. You see this daughter with Mridanga?
Oh, that's Ekadashi. Oh my gosh. Hare Krishna. Jai. Beautiful. We have some of her representatives here too, but not at present.
I'm very happy.
Hare Krishna. We're very happy also.
I'm very happy.
I'm very happy that you're very happy.
I'm very happy to see you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Oh, her English is good too. Should come and visit us sometime here. So, and that's, I remember, the small Subhada coming with her children, Kling and Akadashi, and her grown big daughter also. And we're always going to that cultural center in downtown, like one in every Russian town, there's always a cultural center in every city. And I used to think, why go to Siberia in January? But actually, in January is a very good time for preaching because everybody will go to the cultural center. In the summertime, they all go on a raft or go somewhere. But in the winter, you'll think, who's going to come? It's minus 30. Everybody, the place is full. It's like packed, it's rocking because, so you have to not have any stereotype about how to preach. And that's why in Srila Avadhut Maharaj's Pranam Mantram, I've included there, because I thought, how to properly glorify him. It's like, to mention Guru like Krishna and Mahaprabhu, I thought, it's not enough. Nityananda Prabhu must be there also. Like Gaur and Nityananda. And why? Because, and I say this a little bit double meaning, like because of his unorthodox preaching style. And where does that come from? It's mentioned there in the Pranam Mantram, Vaikuntha Vritti. And where does that come from? When Guru Maharaj is Saraswati Thakur is talking to him and says, I'm thinking we will have a youth hostel in London, and to accommodate non-vegetarians, they can go, we'll make a deal with a non-veg restaurant nearby to accommodate non-vegetarians. And Guru Maharaj is like, what? You know, and Saraswati, because Guru Maharaj is a high-class Bhattacharya Brahmin, and Saraswati Thakur says, oh, you don't know. I decided this 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago I decided this. You have to have Vaikuntha Vritti, means a very broad, liberal conception of how to engage people. So with Maharaj and his different projects, that's why that's included in his Pranam Mantram, the Vaikuntha Vritti. It means a very broad, liberal vision of how to include others, not some rigid stereotype. Even in Guru Maharaj's praise of Saraswati Thakur, he says, Shitiliti Vidi Vraga Radha Radhe Shadani. Shitilita means to loosen or slacken. That's what Saraswati Thakur. So it's a reference to Vaikuntha Vritti. And who are the most liberal distributors? Means Gaur and Nityananda. Not only Gaur, but Nityananda. That means even more merciful, more broad, right? What does it say? Preme Mata Nityananda Kripa Avatar. He's the mercy avatar. In the madness of his intoxication and Gaur Prem, Krishna Prem, he's not distinguishing who's high, who's low, who's fit, who's unfit. Just what he's intoxicated on, here, have a drink of this. Like the intoxicated man who wants everyone to have a drink with him, tells them, give everyone a round on me. He wants them to be intoxicated as he is. It doesn't matter who they are. So Avadhut Maharaj, he's always applying this broad vision of how it's the most exclusive plane that we seek to serve, but the means are all inclusive. Everyone will be given an opportunity. Sometimes we would find somebody who's just utterly reached the point of what we would call, like undesirable. And Avadhut Maharaj would say, oh, he just needs association. And to this day, he's like that. So what I wanted to say though was that, so in time, And Avadhut Maharaj has some deep connection with Jagannath. He was Jagannath Ballabha and Jagannath Rath Yatra, and the whole, and also we're told that broadest liberal distribution of Krishna consciousness will come out of Jagannath. Jagannath Puri, Jagannath Swami, Jagannath Ballabha. So he, as much as he has a deep connection there, he also has a deep connection with Giriraj Govardhan. Everywhere he goes, he's always bringing in Giriraj, and Giriraj is already Giriraj. He's already fully Krishna. But then installing his service, inaugurating his service in different places. So then Giriraj, by Maharaj's grace, he came to Tomsk. And now finally, after 17 years, Subhada, faithfully following Gurudev and doing, as Gurudev said, if Avadhut Maharaj will order that, then it will be devotion. She's faithfully followed him all these years, been empowered by him. And at last, Sri Guru, Gauranga, Gandharvika, Madan Gopalji are appearing. So how, on this most auspicious day, so how fortunate we all are, and we have total confidence in Subhada Devi Dasi as Avadhut Maharaj's representative there, that the Seva will go on perpetually. And we just like to say also that these deities, as they were commissioned by Srila Avadhut Maharaj, they're extraordinarily beautiful and unique. And as I'm sure Maharaj will explain, they're made in the style and posture of deities from the time of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Radharani, her posture is so charming, is what they call the Lalita Bhushita. The Lalita also means beautiful, charming, attractive. It means many, many things. And so when I saw the divine form of the deity, and I thought, I've never seen Radharani in this extreme type of posture. And I thought, I need to search for some divine confirmation of that. And the name is one thing, but actually the name also is revealing. So, right at this time, we just celebrated Jagannath Rath Yatra, then the Hera Panchami festival came on the Panchami, the 5th. And then I'm reading that, and there it is. When Mahaprabhu asked Rup Damodar, please describe the different types of gopis and their mood and their rasa vishesh. He wants to hear from Rup Damodar, the expert on this. And he starts glorifying different types of gopis, left wing, right wing. Radharani happens to be a left wing gopi, and the Bhamabhav and all this. But then he comes to the part of describing this Lalita Bhushan, this when she's strikes a particular posture, this like Krishna's Tribhanga and here Triyanga, and her eyebrows are dancing, and it's her in her supremely seductive pose of attracting Krishna. And I went, oh, it's come, like divine acknowledgement has descended. And then we thought, but then Krishna, we know this is Sanatan Goswami Prabhu's Tirobhav, Disappearance Day. He's the Sambandha Charja. Through the medium of Brihad Bhagavatamritam, he's showing you the relative position of everything and the ultimate absolute position. And it culminates in praise of Radharani and Braja Gopis. But Sanatan Goswami's deity is Madan Mohan. But repeatedly, and why Madan Mohan? Because Madan, Cupid, has this stranglehold, hridrogam, on the hearts of all the suffering jiva souls. Only Madan Mohan, the beauty of Krishna, reality of the beautiful, can break that. Our only hope is, Freud said eros is the driving principle of material existence. Krishna is so seductively attractive that he can break that. But that means there must be that sort of possibility with Krishna. And that's very high, very deep, and realized, there's Gopinath and Govindaji. But in Madan Mohan, he's so beautiful, breaks that attraction and releases the possibility of it being expressed toward Krishna. But repeatedly, we can't help but notice in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Madan Mohan and Madan Gopal are used interchangeably. And then, or equally. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that actually it's Madan Gopal who's making me write all these things about Mahaprabhu. It's Madan Gopal who revealed this in my heart and moves my hand. So, and that, because sometimes someone might be misled by, they think, oh, but Gopal, we think, oh, like Ladu Gopal, Bal Gopal, that means Krishna and the Kumar. Gopal, we may take generally to mean that. But here, so that we will not think that, we're being told Madan Gopal. That means Kishore, Krishna and his Kishore, where he's the Cupid and arousing these divine erotic sentiments of Madhura Rasa. So that Madan Gopal, that Madan Mohan, as we heard from Shuk and Shari the other day, the male pair saying, Krishna's so beautiful, reality the beautiful, so attractive, that even Cupid's bewildered by the beauty of Krishna. But Sari says, yes, but only when he's at the side of Radharani, who's Madan Mohan Mohini. Right? Otherwise, Krishna, he's bewildered by her beauty. So Guru Maharaj said, when Radharani, like his deity name, when Radharani is dancing and singing to attract Krishna and enchant Krishna, she is known as Gandharva or Gandharvika. So Maharaj suggested the perfect name here for the deities because of this extraordinary, in recognition of Sanatana Goswami Prabhu and the Rupanuga line and Madan Gopal, Krishna, the inspirer of Chaitanya Charitamritam, but then the Radharani in this extraordinary form to be Gandharvika. So today is the installation of Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Madan Gopal Ju. Hare Krishna. So, Jai Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadhut Maharaj Avirbhav Mahamahotsavatiti Ki Jai. Srila Veda Vyas Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadhut Maharaj Vyas Puja Ki Jai. Sanatana Goswami Prabhu Tirobhav Mahamahotsavatiti Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Anyway, Maharaj, we're so happy to hear a few words from you, and I will fully translate. I'll try.
Yes.
You've said.
Forgive me for that I cannot par-Ruski.
Because your artistic presentation of our Siddhanta and our deities are most extraordinary. Without that, we would just be dealing with something on an external level, and you're always giving us deep insight of every aspect of Krishna consciousness and Krishna culture and everything we're trying to worship. So I will try to transfer this to Russian devotees within Russian language, getting a gist of your lecture and relish this sweet.
Yes, I don't feel I've adequately praised you on this day, but
that's not. See, the important thing is like we have to have something more superior than us, and today is very, very, very unique day because Krishna appeared. So when we say birthday or appearance, what can be better? What can be better? We are great. We're praising Madan Gopal, and that is if anything spiritual or any credit we've got, that must be it, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, what's the point of self-glorification?
Yes. No, and all this goes back to that blessed day when Srila Gurudev told me that I should meet with you and assist you in your service in Russia and the Russian-speaking countries. And I'm thinking, it's all by the mercy of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Varga. And how happy he would be today when I show, remember the picture of you and Siddhanti Maharaj in like the Arctic with the reindeer, and you're wearing like Santa Claus hats? And I was showing that to some Bengali man on Gurudev's veranda, and I go, look, here, look at these, sannyasis with reindeers and the North Pole and the Arctic Circle. And the Bengali man goes, I've seen reindeer before. I said, have you ever seen reindeer with sannyasis? He said, no, that I have not seen. So, and we would take an annual picture with Subhada and Haridasi and all the devotees, Jagan Mata. We would go outside in January and take a group photo for Gurudev. And with, it's minus 30 and Gurudev would keep that picture on his veranda. So he loved so much the Siberian devotees and Subhada and all the service going on there under your direction, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Anyway, Maharaj, short darshan of the details that you participate in the sacred Abhishek. I will take туда в комнату. Некое трансцендентное таинство должно произойти, поэтому уже.
Oh, okay.
Да, нормально. Jai.
Jai, Pritu. Jai. Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandhari Kamadan Gopalju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hey.
It's time, huh? So with your permission, we should start Abhishek.
Yes, Maharaj. Jai Sri Gurudev, Jai Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharika Madan Gopalju Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Avadhut Maharaj Avirbha Mahamotavati Ki Jai. Sri Vyas Puja Ki Jai. Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhu Tirobha Mahamotavati Ki Jai.